folks, welcome to Week in Review. This is a video in which we show you the reviews that we put out last week and give you quick shotgun opinions of those games. If you like them, check the description of this video. You can find a full review and learn more about it. Take it away, Z.
Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. Last week we put out a new best of the month as well as a new board game blender, a nautical themed board game blender. Go check both of those out. And then I also did 3 reviews. I reviewed 3 expansions. The expansions are Betrayal at House on the Hill, Widow's Walk, which is more of the same from the base game. For me, that was problematic because I thought the base game could have used some improvements. But if you are looking specifically for more of what you already liked, this game's going to give it to you. It's going to double the number of haunts, the number of possible endings, and it's going to give you new tiles, new content, new writing, new cards, new everything. The other expansions are Hiroshima Hex Death Breath, which is a new army that is basically zombies. And it's really cool. I very much liked it. The concept behind it is that they keep coming back every time some of your units on the board die off. You can spawn them again in some specific places. It's really cool. It's interesting. The theme certainly comes through even in that game that could be seen as somewhat abstract. And so I very much enjoyed that, Death Breath. And then lastly, Seven Wonders Duel Pantheon, which adds the idea of divinities to the game. And you can buy those divinities and trigger new powers that were not part of the game before. It's very cool. It messes a little bit with the cadence of the game, which I really liked. And it allows for surprises in the game, which I also very much like. You know, before, you could sort of see something coming down the road, but now it's possible to have something really come out and surprise you. Very much dig that one. Would highly recommend it. And that's it for me. I will see you all next time.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Week in Review. This week I did 4 videos. The first one was one for a game called Brethren of the Coast by You Play It Editions. And it was not a bad game, but I was just left feeling underwhelmed, I guess you could say. There was very few meaty decisions that you can make to the game. Still enjoyed it a little bit, but still didn't rank very high on my radar. So that was Brethren of the Coast. Go check out my review and you'll see. The next one was an expansion for Hold the Line, the American Revolution, the new 2016 re-release, I guess you could say, or reiteration of a 2008 game called just Hold the Line. But this one that I did this week was for the French and Indian War expansion for that base game. And it does what I think expansion should do. It simply gives you more stuff to play within that sandbox of a game. So I really enjoyed the expansion. I thought it did everything that it should do. And the third review video that I did was for that poop game that I keep talking about called Pecunia Non Olet. Now, I probably murdered the name of it because it's not English, but that's how you spell it. And it is a game that's set in ancient Rome where each player is taking on the role of a person who owns a latrine, and you are trying to get people in and out of your latrine as much as possible, and people have to pay you to poop in your latrine. And so it sounds very sophomoric. It actually is, but the game and its mechanics are also good. So check out that review. I did a review of the second edition of it that came out in 2016, which came with a whole bunch of modular expansions as well. So check that out. Very cool game, Pecunia Non Olet. And then finally, I did a top 5 anticipated expansions for the year 2017, so you can check that out as well. And that's it for me. See you on the flip side.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brian with the latest retro. So I'm in a tree right now, not because I'm outdoorsy, because the last time I went camping, I quit at 2 a.m. because it was 20 degrees and my sleeping bag didn't have a zipper, but that's irrelevant. You don't care about that. The reason I'm in a tree is because I drew too many cards that moved me in the wrong direction and made me spin and climb and sidestep and not walk forward and attack. That's what I'm talking about, Mechs vs. Minions for this Week in Review. Did a review of it. Talked about how I enjoyed it somewhat, but not my favorite thing in the world. I mean, I know a 7 is kind of high. That's why I give it, by the way, as a 7-ish. It's kind of high, but that's component quality alone is just incredible. You can't fault it for that. but the programming is still programming. But they do a lot of good things to mitigate the whole irritations of programming and co-op games, because they make it where you can't alpha game, and they also, just having a co-op programming just really helps the whole concept of programming, but still at its core, it's still a programming game, and that drives me a little bit crazy every once in a while. So that's the game for this week, Mechs vs. Minions. I'm Brian with the latest retro. See you next time.
Well, this week I took a look at Stack Attack. Stack Attack was just awful. It's essentially cups, you roll dice, and if you roll the right numbers, you can stack them and hope they don't fall. Blah. Then there was Robo Race. Robo Race is a very interesting game in which you're racing robots by placing cards. Unfortunately, as cool as it is, the robot theme makes no sense at all, and placing the cards just gets really lucky. Sometimes you have the chance to place the best card and score the most points. Suspicion is a game that Melody and I both took a look at, a deduction game that we thought we would enjoy more, just slightly too long for what it is, and slightly too easy of a game. Great look to it, though. Bubbly Pop. This is a game Melody and I checked out, which is essentially Bejeweled or games like that, a two-player board version of it where you're moving these little bubblies around and getting them, and then when you get groups of 3 or more, boom, they're gone. So if you like that in the app, you might like it in a two-player board game. Sultans of the Wind. This is a game that had not as good production as I would like, but essentially you're moving across the board. Think Chinese checkers, get your pieces from here to over there. You use different tiles to move around. It's an entertaining time. Again, just I wish it had been nicer, the pieces themselves. Deadpool Marvel Legendary. I enjoyed this, but not as much as the other Marvel Legendaries. It's funny, ha 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 ha. Once or twice after that, I think it starts getting old a little bit too much tongue-in-cheek humor for me, and I guess if you like Deadpool, though, you might enjoy it. Glimpse is a game in which you are colorblind. Literally, you're putting glasses on and looking at pieces on a board and trying to ask each other questions about different people, the different cartoon characters, but it's all about the colorblind thing, and you can't see what the different markers are. Other than that, it's just a pretty simple party game that I think some people will enjoy. Armageddon from the ground up. This is from Queen Games. I was very pleasantly surprised with this game. It was like an auction style game where you're trying to collect cards to get points, but it's also worker placement. So the things you're auctioning will become the things that you will use to put out in your city. Very cool components. It's very easy and a lot of good, intriguing choices in it. Yes, this party game I really enjoyed. It's a lot of similarities to the very popular Codenames, where there's 7 pictures on the board. You will give somebody else a combination of 2 of those. They have to give a one-word clue so that everyone else picks them. For every person who picks it, they get points. For every person who gets it wrong, you get points. Fun, simple, and easy. Take It Easy. This is a smaller version of Take It to the Limit, or Take It to the Limit. It's a bigger version of Take It Easy, whatever. In this game, players are going to call out a tile. They're going to take that tile and put it on a board. Each of those tiles will then, you're trying to get different lines of different colors. It comes together in a really fun way. And there's not a lot of interaction between players, but you can also play a ton of players because everyone's using the same tiles at the same time. Cosmic Eons is the latest, the 6th expansion for Cosmic Encounter. It's not my favorite expansion, but it definitely has some really fun things. It has some dials, which production-wise weren't that great, but they're very fun. Quick way to pick allies. Also, there's a ton of really cool, neat new aliens, but they're also fairly complex. Some of them come with their own little sets of cards called Essence cards. And David and Goliath. What a great trick-taking game. My favorite trick-taking game. I got the Pegasus version of that, so I just wanted to talk about it because it's one of my favorite games. I also did a video this week on what aliens got kicked out of Cosmic Encounter, since the box only has so much room for aliens. And I compared the first and second editions of Robinson Crusoe. And again, we played a whole pile of live games, so you might want to go watch some of those played. I think we took a look at Vikings Gone Wild. We took a look at Adrenaline, several 2-player games. I finally played Raptor for the first time. So if you want to see how some of those games were played, go back and check those videos. And we also did our top 10 games we're looking forward to in 2017. Woo! Well, that's it for our weekend review. Until next time, I'm Tom Bassel, and this is the Dice Tower.